morning. Welcome to Remember How It Was. I am Justin Washington in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I'm with my sister.
I am Wambui Bahati in New York City, and together we're with a very special guest today. We are with Evelyn Parham. And Evelyn, where are you at?
I'm in Greenville, Georgia.
Greenville, Georgia. So we got Georgia, New York, and North Carolina represented today as we remember how it was. Okay, so we didn't choose any specific topic today. Evelyn is one of our biggest fans. My brother, when we were talking about bringing people onto the show, he wanted to especially bring on Miss Evelyn because she's one of our biggest podcast fans. She comments, she listens, she tells us when our sound is messed up, when our volumes are messed up. And so we wanted to have her on. When our light is messed up. And so I'm going to just, for right now, we don't have anything planned. We just want to, we brought Miss Evelyn up. Miss Evelyn was born in 1971 compared to 1950 and 1957. So she's a baby, but we want to get her memories and find out what was going on in the 70s. And now my brother's frozen. Okay, you're good. Okay, and find out what was going on in the 70s. So tell us, if you don't mind, just tell us briefly a little bit about yourself, where you were born and, you know, how you got to where you are right now.
Okay, of course, my name is Evelyn Parham. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee in 1971 to Mary and Joe Prather. Like, Mary and Joe.
Mary and Joseph.
but it's Joe. They used to call my daddy JP. But I have a brother. I have one brother. He's 2 years younger than me. And my mother was born in 1949. So she's a year older than you, Miss Wambui.
Okay.
And so as far as where I grew up, we moved a lot, especially when I was little, because my mother she was sick mentally. My dad, he was, you know, he always drank alcohol. So anyway, we were in and out. We were all over the place, but we ended up with our grandmother. And then that's where we got stability. So I'm here now.
Well,
In Georgia, I actually went to graduate school in Tennessee, in Cookeville, Tennessee. And then after I graduated from Tennessee Tech University, I moved to Georgia. So that's kind of that in a quick nutshell. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm tearing up a little bit, Miss Evelyn, because I want this to be a happy podcast. But when you mentioned that, your mother had some mental issues, I just started tearing up because I was the mother with the mental issues as far as my children were concerned. So I know that can be very difficult on the children. And God just watches over the children, watched over my children and watched over you. So anyway, that tears me up. But I'm so happy that you are here today.
But you know what, Miss Wambui? Even though I went through all of that dysfunction, I still was able to get my Bachelor of Science degree. I still was able to get my Master of Science
degree. Yes, ma'am. That's what I said. You know, God was watching over you.
God is good. And thank God for people praying for me and my brother.
And you do a lot of really good.
Yeah. And my brother is an educator, so, you know.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Were you going to say something, brother?
Yeah, I want to ask, because like I said, I remember the way it was. You say you grew up in Tennessee. Where did you spend your childhood? Was that where you played at as a child, or where were you at when you played in the dirt?
I guess you're saying what year did you leave? Yeah, what year did you play in the dirt?
I played in the dirt. We stayed in Nashville up until I was 11 years old. Okay. And then we moved to a little town where my mother is from. Then we just were moving all over the place because of the issues she had. But mainly it was Nashville, Tennessee, where I played in the dirt.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I
Elementary
want to
school.
know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, was there parks? Because I'm a big Parks and Rec guy. Well, did
Oh
you
wow.
visit the parks, or you just played in the neighborhood?
We did both because where we lived at, in some instances there was a recreational center not far
Mm-hmm.
from where we lived, so we would walk over there, and as we call it, the center. All the kids would
Mm-hmm.
go to the
Yeah,
center in the neighborhood, and it seemed like they had one of those in every neighborhood we lived in Nashville, almost.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we did. There's sometimes they would have skating, and we would pay 25 cents to
Mm-hmm.
rent the skates and go in there and skate in the gym. We played pool. We did a lot of different things. They had when you have the plastic that they put down and kids slide on it with
oh
water.
yeah,
They
yeah.
would,
Yeah,
The
yeah,
water
slip and
slides.
slide.
Uh-huh.
water slide. They would do that. So they had a lot of things for the kids to do. I don't know if they do that now, but they would have free lunch in the summer, and we would all just head there, and that's where
Yeah,
we spent our time, me and my cousins and other people in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much how it was when I was growing up. We had that still exists today, right, brother?
yeah, yeah,
As
yeah.
far
Because
as the taking care of the
I
children in
know
the
here.
summertime.
Yeah, I know here Parks and Rec has always been a big thing, and I was just asking that because I'm always curious. Like I grew up in Greensboro. For example, you grew up in Greensboro. I'm always curious. What the other kids' life kind of parallel ours, and I'm always curious about that because one thing when I was in the service, that was really the first time I lived away from home, and I would go to the gym and I play workout, play basketball, and basketball is an international game. It's just amazing that where did you discover basketball? Like how was your Jack Rocks? I mean, just Jack Rocks a big thing. What was the junkie game that you played when you with your girls
Oh, or the guys, but
or the guys?
I I remember we would get these. You have the bottle caps that be on the soda drinks.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yes,
would
ma'am.
get those. We would get those caps, okay, and we would like try to turn them over just with taking our finger and popping them over. And if you didn't pop it over, the next person, it was their turn. And then
Okay.
if you popped it over, you collected that bottle cap, and then we just kept doing that.
Until you
Okay.
see who ended up with the most bottle caps at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then
Okay.
we played that,
Okay,
and
okay. So you were into organized gambling.
Okay.
kind of sort of, kind of sort of.
Yes.
And then another game that as I got older and we went and stayed with my grandmother, but this was just when I was 8 years old. So I had been in a lot of different places before I got with my grandmother when I was 8. But we
Hmm.
used to play what's called fly on the bounce.
Fly on the
That was,
bounce.
yeah, that's
Okay.
that's
That's new.
that might be a city thing up in Nashville, but I played it with my cousins, my other guy cousins, because we were all kind of around the same age. And it's kind of like baseball, but what you do is the person hits the ball. But we played this in the projects, okay? I don't know how we played it, but we hit the ball with either a bat or a hand, and then
Hmm.
whoever caught the ball, they would actually have a turn to hit the ball. So the other
Okay.
person could do that.
Okay.
Okay, I know it sounds crazy, but fly
No.
on the bounce, wherever it bounced, whoever caught the ball, you were next.
Uh-huh.
And of course,
Okay.
Yeah.
kick ball. We caught play cup ball, which we had like a piece of paper bottled up, and
Uh-huh.
we would play like we were playing. This was when I stayed with my grandmother in the country because she used to
Hmm.
live in Nashville, and
Hmm.
then she moved to the country, and that's where I ended up at eventually, Bolivar,
Hmm.
Tennessee. But we throw the paper and we hit it, okay? Water paper or a ball. Most of the time it was a water paper because it was me, my brother, and a cousin. You
Hmm.
hit the paper, you hit the ball, you hit the paper, and then whoever got it, you had to try to run to the bases. And
Okay, God.
then
Okay.
if they caught it and touched you, you were out. So it's just weird. Freeze
Okay.
tag, stuff like that.
Yeah. So
It,
just very creative about a lot of the games. It's pretty amazing how creative a bunch of kids can be to
yeah,
entertain themselves. Now everybody's like on the tablet, on the computer, and
yeah,
that's a shame. It's a shame.
yeah.
Yeah. So
We were always
yeah.
outside.
Yeah, we used to always be outside too. It was like, yeah, that was our go-to. Except Saturday mornings, I have to say, cartoons would get me. The
Right,
cartoons
right.
would get me. But as soon as those cartoons were over, we were
Doing
outside. Is
stuff.
that, well, you were a few years behind me, but that's how you were, Justin, right? It's like people played
Yeah, but
outside. You were just outside.
we were outside to the point where Mama used to say, "In or out, in or out." So you said,
Yeah.
don't let my air out." And even though all we
Okay.
had was a fan, don't let, don't
Yes.
let my
It was
air
like,
out.
yes, you stay in or you stay out. You stay out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. I saw something the other day. Now I was on the internet surfing, and I saw this guy. He was a black guy, kind of rough looking guy, and he said his story was the reason I can't be a gangster. Then he started singing. He knew the whole Transformer song. He just said, and that's why I can't be a gangster. I'm not going to erase my memories.
It's not going to, yes, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know where that came from, but that was funny to me. He said, I can't be a gangster
it's
because I
not going
know
to
this
erase his
song.
memories. Well, Miss Evelyn and I don't know exactly how we met. We met about what, 5, 6 years ago? Even 7? Was it 7 years? 6 years ago. We met but we never
Yeah,
met in person. We've never met in person,
yeah.
but we met. I don't know how I met you.
I know how
Um,
you met me.
how did? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is
You
it
know,
safe to tell?
yeah, it's safe
Okay.
to
All right.
tell. I'll be
Yes.
wise with my words.
No.
I choose my words
Well,
wisely. Well, I had the other YouTube channel, Tootie's Corner,
Tootie's.
and I was
Okay. Now Tootie's Corner. Yes.
that's Tootie is my nickname. That's what most of my family call me. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but I had that channel. I was doing political commentary, and
Okay. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
I saw this little lady commenting on my little black lady to be exact,
That would be
commenting
me.
on my videos. I said, "Whoa, where did she come from? Is she think like I think?" And so it
Yeah.
just took off. It just took off from there. So
Yeah, we had the same political beliefs and views and different ideas about things that were happening at the time. We agreed on them. So I just ran across her site one day and I said, oh, okay, I like this. I can relate to her. And so then I would follow her wherever she would go. And then she started following me wherever I would go. And then she started supporting me, whatever I was doing. And then, because we've been through some channels now on YouTube. We've been through some, we have had some channels. And so we just always supported each other. My longest channel is my crafting channel. That's still up. I don't really add new things like I should. I tell myself I'm retired from it, but that channel is still up. And so she was very much a supporter on that channel. But then I tried to have channels in between, and she was always there, whatever it was, even if it was bad, awful, indifferent. She was
not
always
bad.
there to support. Okay. And and then whatever she did, which was not bad, she always had good channels, and I would always go over there to support her. She had what channels? Because you had hairstyles, lifestyle. You
Yeah,
had
I still have that channel. I just haven't uploaded. That's the one I said I'm over it, and so I've started
yeah.
two new channels now. So one of them is doing pretty good. The other one I hadn't uploaded yet, as far as
Uh-huh.
an official video, but it'll be coming.
Uh-huh.
You
So
Yeah.
know,
that's
you
how.
know.
Go ahead.
I've seen Evelyn's. I've seen your hair videos, and you be
Mhm.
doing all these things. And I say, man, I need to get some hair, because you do it. You say all you need is a bottle of this stuff and this thing right here, and then you go to it, and I'm just like, okay, I'll be watching, say, man, I'm gonna grow a piece of hair.
and she throw on some jazz music or some music in the background, and she just sit there and you watch Miss Evelyn do her hair. You say, okay, I wonder if I can do that.
And I've seen, because I like to exercise, and I've seen your exercise videos, not recently, but I've seen your exercise videos. So
okay, yeah,
shout out to you. Yeah.
Yes, and sometimes she'd be just walking down the road. No traffic, so you know she out in the country because you didn't see no cars. She'd be walking.
Yeah, no cars coming by hardly. I'm in the boonies.
In the boonies. So yeah. I know we did one of our podcasts that you and I did, Justin, we were talking about technology. And so one of the things that reminds me of technology with Miss Evelyn is because a lot of people, well, I'm 70, she's much younger, but a lot of people, especially the 70s, our age, a lot of them never really caught onto the technology where they can do, their own videos. And when you do videos, what people forget is that you are your writer, you are your producer, you are your makeup person, you are the lighting person, you are the editor, you are your sound, you are your everything. Now, there are a lot of people on YouTube. I see a lot of older people who have great channels, but what I notice is that they have a team. Like, they come on and they present, but they don't edit that video. They're not behind the camera, and they're not doing the sound. They come on and they present, and then they go away, and then somebody else does all that stuff. And what I think I applaud Evelyn on, and myself, is that she had these great channels, and she was one person coming up with the ideas, executing the ideas, and making sure it looked good, making sure it sounded good, adding the music, adding the intro, and doing all that. So I applaud her for, doing plus keeping the blog going, keeping the blog. She has a blog and all that at the same time. So yeah, it can be a lot of
blog. I still have the blog going. I post every Thursday. Then I'm thinking about getting 2 other sites. One is just the writing, the other one is for the book reviews. So
for the book reviews,
so tell me about the blog on Thursday. What happens now?
That's my evelynparham.com. I write just whatever comes to mind. Lately, the last couple of posts, I've been talking about not being fearful of doing something, especially if you're not happy with it. And I talked about quitting my YouTube channel with over 4,000 subscribers, which isn't that much, but it
was a good start.
I talked about quitting it, but then I think the last week I talked about coming back and just doing skincare. So and so it's a blog where I pretty much type where I put out a message, whatever's on my mind, what I think people would like to hear. And that blog started because I was into being a vegan and raw vegan back in 2010. So I've had the site for a long time.
So Ms. Evelyn, you still a vegan?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Because I know because last episode, I think I mentioned my air fryer. I know Ms. Evelyn has an air fryer too.
I don't use it.
So I'm the only one that uses mine to cook hot dogs in. Okay.
Hot dogs. When you said hot dogs, I said, okay, how does that work?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Really? You just take the hot dog and put it in the fryer, and I put mine on the French fry setting to cook the hot dogs.
Okay.
Anyway, one day I'll come back and do a whole cooking. We'll do a cooking podcast where we talk about our favorite recipes and things like that. That'll be fun, hey? So what are some of your favorite foods, Miss Evelyn?
Stuff that's
You don't
not
have to
good
clean
for
it
you.
up. You can
I just,
you can be
I
honest.
just,
We're not gonna judge. We don't have a judging
no,
audience. We don't.
stuff that's not good for you. I really like pizza. I also like spaghetti
Oh, I
and
like spaghetti and noodles.
Italian dishes. I
Mm,
love Mexican dishes like tacos and stuff. I'll
mm-hmm.
make a taco out of anything. Doesn't have to be
Okay.
ground beef. It can be fish or chicken or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I guess that's it.
yeah, yeah,
I love
yeah. My
blueberries.
you like blueberries? Yeah,
Yeah.
I cause my favorite food is always the food that you want to eat the most of is the food that's not
Right.
is not good for you. Cause growing up, my favorite food was my mother made the best fried pork chops like
Oh, I
nobody
like
else.
pork chop. Put it on the
And
white bread.
I don't, yeah, and I try not to eat the pork chops. I try not to eat too much pork, but I love that memory of that pork chop. Oh, brother, do you remember this? Like, cause there was four of us, right? So when my mother would get groceries, she would like get, for instance, she'd get enough for you to have two of whatever, two pork chops or two salmon cakes or two, that was, and then she'd have the vegetables and everything with that. But you had two. And so I remember sometimes there'd be kids playing in the backyard and my mother would say, come on and eat their dinner. And I'd say, can so-and-so come with me? She said, yeah, but you're going to be sharing your food. You ain't sharing nobody's food but yours, okay? And I say, okay, y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to go. Bye.
All right. I want to tell a story. I want to tell a story about something that you did, one boy, when you was young. You was I don't remember if you was in college. I'm gonna go there. I don't know if you was in college or you were early in your stage career, but I remember you was vegetarian. You was hardcore vegetarian, and Mama, she's against anything that any change like that, against any change. And Mama told me she's gonna get you. Mama said, I'm gonna cook this chicken that Mama cooked the best. You came home that week or weekend, whatever it was, and Mama had that chicken and she broke you. So I remember that. You ate that chicken. Yeah, yeah, you.
This is what I
The
remember.
best
I
chicken I
remember her
ever
doing
had.
this. I went through a period. I don't know if it was the vegetarian period because I went through almost all the stages of food you can go through. I went through the vegetarian period, but I also went through the non-pork eating period. Um, Now I'm gonna say what was the anyway. I was doing non-pork. And so my mother, I would bring me and my kids to her house and I'd say, we don't eat pork. And she'd say, okay. So then she'd say, I know you don't eat pork. And so she would serve us some string beans or some greens or something. And it would be really good. But I'm thinking, nah, she said she didn't put no pork. And at the end, did you put any pork in this? No, I just put a little bacon and fat back. I didn't put no pork in there. I just put a little bacon and some fat back.
That's pork.
This little. And I'm gonna say something about food. I'm gonna get back there about food. I eat a lot. Recently I've been eating a lot of cantaloupe, and my daughter
Oh,
brought to my attention my daughter brought to my attention last night that my father ate a lot of cantaloupe, and she remembered him putting pepper on cantaloupe, and she brought that to my attention last night, and I had to think about that. Yeah, Daddy did. He did like cantaloupe. He used to put pepper on everything.
he put hot
So,
sauce or pepper on everything. Everything. Hot sauce. And I practically do that now. There's this hot sauce called Frank's. Okay, you get it at I get mine at Costco, but it's called Frank's. You can get it anywhere. I love that
yeah.
I put that hot sauce on everything. Everything has to have some Frank's on it. The eggs, everything.
You
Okay,
have
now that
hot sauce
everybody.
in your bag.
Yeah, right. Me and Hillary got hot sauce in our
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more story. I got one more story. Then I'll let you guys talk a little bit. You said that Mama put a little bit of bacon, a little bit of stuff in your food.
Hmm.
I remember when Mama's her health was declining, and I took her to the doctor, and the doctor
Mm-hmm.
said, examined her eyes and told her that, well, you have a little cataracts. And
Mm-hmm.
mama say, do I have it or do I don't? Ain't no such thing a little bit. Do I have it or I
That's
don't?
right.
So
That's right.
yeah, yeah.
Well, speaking of mama, we just going here for a minute, Miss Evelyn, but you jump in. Remember when she was diagnosed with some type of cancer on her foot, and the doctor was saying she wasn't going to walk again, or she would limp, or something like
Yes,
that.
yes, yes,
And she had
yes,
these
yes, yes,
crutches for
yes.
a while. And then my mother, like one day, it was like Jesus came and healed her. She threw those crutches. She says, I can walk. I'm walking. They told me I wouldn't walk, but I'm walking. And she did. From that day on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
she never had no trouble with that foot or
yeah, yeah.
that leg or anything.
That was a miracle. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, she had the cast on that, the boot, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, yeah. She just she willed it away.
I ain't doing
Literally.
that. Literally.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I don't know where you all want to go. As usual, I don't want to make it too long. We're in like 25 minutes right now.
Okay,
And
I got a question. I got a question for
okay,
Evelyn. I got a question.
okay.
Growing up in the
Okay.
70s, 80s, what TV shows did you like?
Oh yeah, that's a
Oh,
good one.
wow. Oh, I liked a lot. We're going to start with Hawaii Five-0. I used to watch
Okay.
that. And you know, the intro of the music that would come on, I would get up and be dancing. My mom would say, sit your fast butt down. Dun, 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 dun,
Okay.
dun, dun. Yeah. Hawaii Five-0. I liked Wonder Woman. I liked the Jeffersons, Good
Ooh.
Times.
Oh yeah,
Um,
she came. Yeah, she was right there with all those sitcoms, those black sitcoms that were coming on.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the Jeffersons, Good Times, all that.
the Archie
Yes.
Bunker. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And Different
Oh,
Strokes as I got older,
Different
you know.
Strokes. Yes.
Well,
Gilligan's
tell me
Island.
what
We used to watch
different
Gilligan's
strokes.
Island.
Let me ask you about Different Strokes. Was you
Hmm.
one of those people that had a crush on Willis?
Yes. And I had a crush on Michael from Good Times. I just saw Michael. I said, "Ooh, he's
Oh
so
yes.
cute." Yeah. Willis. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I
like I said, that was kind of a little bit. Well, I was still around, but I was a little bit older. But I used to hear people, talk about the girls. Willis was a heartthrob. I said, man, what's he hot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't
Then I just
write
liked
shows like that no
Michael.
more.
Mm-mm.
No.
They make shows like it would if the shows that we have now was coming out back then, yeah, they wouldn't have made it on the screen.
No, they wouldn't, because remember, it was when we were growing up, two adult people could not. I mean, even if, like, for instance, I Love Lucy. Remember, they had to have twin beds because
Yeah.
even if you were married, you couldn't be seen in the same bed on TV. That was like no. And of course, today, it's like that's far, far, far gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So.
is. They do
And they
stuff
were,
you would have never
and the shows
imagined.
had themes that you could kind of relate to, like the Good Times show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember the time it was about Penny, child abuse. They always just had things on there that just kind of helped you to think, even though
Right.
they were just really funny shows.
Yeah.
So I thought on this channel, brother, that at some point we would do a giveaway.
Okay.
And like, see, this says Ed Sullivan's Rock and Roll Classics, Four Tops, The Supremes, The Temptations, Smokey
Wow.
Robinson, The Beatles. And it's like all these people that were on the Ed Sullivan show, because that was one of my favorite, because I remember the Supremes and Temptations. Those were my favorite shows when they were on the Ed Sullivan show. Anyway, so at some point we can do a giveaway and give this to one of our somebody in our audience or one of our supporters. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there. That we're going to do a giveaway in the near future, aren't we? We never discussed it. I'm telling him now.
Yeah,
This is the first
yeah,
thing
we
about
had
it.
discussed it, reason I like that because I think I was watching one of Miss Evelyn shows a while back, and you did that. You do that or did that a giveaway?
Yeah. But I did do
Yeah,
a
but
giveaway.
Yeah, we used to
I
like
watched
to
the
give away.
episode. Like I watched the episode and I saw you did that.
I
Yeah,
think there
I
was a
like that.
live stream because me and Miss Wamboo, we do giveaways in our live streams. We
Yeah, when
decided
we
no
do
more.
live, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, sometimes it's hard to give away something. It is hard
Right.
because you have something you want to give away, and then sometimes people start arguing. I've had actually people on my channel, one person who actually lied about her number just so she could get the gift when everybody knew she was lying. And so she sent me a copy of we lost Miss
Oh,
Evelyn. Oh, there she is. So she sent me a copy of, because I used to do a thing where I would have a number that they can't see, and the person who would get closest to that number, they would get the prize, and then I'd give one to the person on, the lowest and the highest next to that. Anyway, so this person claimed she had put the number in, and somebody told me on there, they said, no, she lied. She didn't have that number. And I didn't know what to do. And then she actually sent me a photo of the chat and the number beside her name. And I said, oh my God, how did I miss this? And then one of my children said, Mama, look at that. She wrote that in. That's so fake.
but you know what? I did a raffle not too long ago, this weekend. And what I do in my raffle, I have a Price is Right wheel, and I put numbers on it, and I spin the wheel. and that's how you win that's how you win the raffle. It's the wheel spins, and at this time I will let the people say they would donate the money and they spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, that was them. So we might be able to incorporate that on something like that.
They do have. We eventually found out there are programs on the internet that will do that, but kind of like do the shuffling for you. So it's not on any person. There is the machine is doing it, and so wherever it lands. But I was saying that to say that people it's hard. You want to do giveaways, and then sometimes it's just difficult because now people are fighting, and then people are sending you emails after saying, I should have got that. I should have got that. Or you say, okay, I got 3 gifts I want to mail to you. Let me know by this certain date your address so I can mail it. And then on that certain date, you're going to the post office now, but you don't have, so now you got to have to make 2 trips to, like it gets a little difficult, So, but I know that's not the people in that we're dealing with. It's going to be real easy to do.
Okay, there you go. Make it right. Make it right.
And it's yeah. So because we're remembering how it was.
We remember how it was. Yeah.
So we would like to have you back on again sometime in the future, Miss Evelyn. This has been a lot of fun. If you have a topic that you would like to hear us discuss, then let us know in the chat. If you'd like to be on the show, what I would ask though is that it's really important that you be born like 70, 60, 50.
50, 60s, 70s.
Yeah. So that way we have stuff to remember. So everybody has some memories. But especially if you're one of our Greensboro friends or somebody we know from Greensboro, and we would love to have you come on this podcast with us, and we can talk Greensboro talk as well. All right. So unless you would like to add something, Miss Evelyn, well, let me go to you first, brother. Do you have something you want to add?
No. I just want to thank Miss Evelyn for taking the time to hang out with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. So, Miss Evelyn, do you have anything you would like to add, or something you say, I forgot I wanted to say this one thing, or anything you want to say or add on?
I'm just glad to be here with you two. But I would like to know in a future video how it was when y'all were coming up during the Jim Crow era. That's what I want people to hear, because
and the civil rights movement.
Yeah. My mother and
Mhm.
father
Okay.
came up during that time, but I've never heard them complain about it. And I've never
Well,
heard other people their age complain about it. But we and people younger than me, oh, we complaining, we being oppressed, and we didn't go through half the stuff that y'all went through.
because you
We didn't
all
go
are
through
feeling
anything.
for us. I think I mentioned that one other time that it seems like the younger generation is feeling some type of way for us. They're angry for us. They're angry for us. But I don't feel, I'm just happy we got through it. And I know, and trying to make things better as we go. And I feel like as long as you're bitter and holding on to it, you can't hold on to that hate and anger and actually get anything done. That's how I feel. Is that how you feel, brother? I just feel like it destroys you when you're holding on to, oh, those people, those white people, they did this to me. I'm never going to forget it. Ugh, what kind of life? You're
Right.
allowing them to destroy your
My
life.
opinion, like I want to save it to the episode because we have talked about that. But I think systemic goes both ways. So I do want to dive in that one episode because we talked about since you and Roberta's the oldest and you've seen more than I have seen. So I'm looking forward to getting Roberta on, our older
That's what we
sister,
were trying to do.
and go there. Yeah.
Yeah, we had, before we did the episode on the civil rights movement, we wanted to have my sister be on that episode because I really looked up to my sister. She would come home talking about, oh, this guy she met at school and this guy said this and this guy is fine and he said that. I said, well, what's his name? She said his name is Jesse. His name is Jesse Jackson. And he said we shouldn't have to go in the side door of the Carolina. He said we should be able to sit down. So she was like right, kind of in the forefront. She was the one who convinced my mother to let us go to the marches because my mother was scared for us to go. And it was my sister who like told her, no, we need to do this. We need to go, march. And of course, she couldn't, for her to go, she had to take me because she wasn't going to let her go by herself. And so, yeah, we have those stories to tell. We were trying to save it for my sister to be on the podcast with us. And so she's really busy doing her work and everything, but we're going to try to just kidnap her one day and make her be on here.
I know it's going to be good because I love hearing about the history, things that happened back in the day that, I could only get the stories from people, and how it was back then. So I like that.
Yes. I'm gonna keep working on her, see what I have to do to get her on the podcast. Well, thank you for that though. Thank you. Yes. So with that said, if everybody's ready, I'm gonna sign off and say thank you all for watching. And let's see, we're gonna get everybody's peacing out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Love you, Miss Evelyn.
Right.
Thank you so much. Love you, brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
Love you people for watching. Thank you so much. Peace now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.